I'm Mike Walker.
I'm David Patrick.
We are Dads on Books.
Dads on Books, 2 minutes later. But we are dads on books. We're addicted to books, we sit on books, and we even talk about books.
Welcome to another episode of
Dads
on
Books.
Here we are again at Dads on Books.
Hey, it's good to be back, Mike.
Good to be back with you, David.
Yay.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm ready to talk about not one, but two. A holiday book today. 'Tis the season. How are you?
Holiday books it is. I am doing fine. We are going to actually, as David kind of mentioned, we're going to talk about 2 books, but they're going to be separate episodes.
Okay, I didn't know if I could mention it. I was scared.
Oh, that's fine. We're recording them in the same day.
Yay.
Not well before either of the holidays, but before the holidays.
We decided not to record our Hanukkah and Christmas episodes in January because we're cutting edge.
We're cutting. Well, we didn't want to have to wait 12 months to put them out.
Yes, that too.
The first book we're going to talk about is called All About Hanukkah.
Yep.
And we're doing that book first because Hanukkah comes first this year.
Mm-hmm. Hey, does it change? Is Hanukkah sometimes after Christmas?
Hanukkah changes every year because the Jewish calendar, I believe it's based on the lunar calendar.
Okay.
So I don't know all of it because unlike my other shirt that says I'm Jew-ish, I'm not wearing that shirt, but I got the matzah today.
Matzah.
But there are 13 months, and I believe I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's the 25th day of Kislev, which I may or may not be right on, but that's what I remember reading. So a little bit of history about why we're doing Hanukkah is because my wife is Jewish,
mm-hmm.
and therefore my children are Jewish, and we frequent a synagogue that is very close to us called Oak Park Temple. It's a fun place to go. There's lots of nice people. And although I am not Jewish, I still spend so much time there. Mm-hmm. My kids are like, "Are you sure you're not Jewish? Because you sure spend a lot of time with us." So I thought, we should do a Hanukkah book since Hanukkah and Christmas are very close to each other this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I got sick the other day, so I've got the sniffles. But we're not together, so I won't get you sick, David.
Oh, yay. That's one of the great things about technology. It's hard to transmit diseases through these cables and stuff.
Unless it's some sort of computer virus.
Right.
So I chose this book. It is not my favorite book about Hanukkah. There's a lot more that are more fun.
Mm-hmm.
But this, I thought, if this was our first time talking about it, we should talk about a little bit about the history and what Hanukkah is all about. So that is why I chose this book.
Well, I've got good news.
What's that?
I learned so much about Hanukkah from this book.
And honestly, so did I. Because I may go to the temple, I may hear the stories and everything, but there are always, you will find something new in a book.
I love it.
Do you want to tell a little bit? Can you go through like the sort of, there's not really necessarily a plot because, but do you want to go through like what it's all about?
So I started the book and I was confused. Let me read to you the beginning of the book. Are you ready?
Yep.
There's a section called Legends. Before books, stories were passed down from generation to generation. As they were retold, things were added, changed, or forgotten. When the story of Hanukkah was written down, years after it happened, and it starts mentioning the Maccabees, the jug of light, and I'm sitting here going, this is weird. And then I hit some button, okay, full disclosure, on my app that I'm reading the book on, and I looked down and it said 22/36. So I started on page 22. So the good
That
news,
is hilarious.
that's the only bad news. The good news is, yes, you're right. It's hilarious. And the other good news, B, I was not going crazy. But it was also odd that it wasn't something like, and then he said, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I thought this is an odd. Anyway, back to your point. Yes, it was really good for me to learn the history of Hanukkah, because if you had asked me before I read this, what's the story of Hanukkah? And I'd be like, it's like Christmas, but it's not fair because you get presents 7 more days than you do on Christmas because we only get presents on one day, and that's not fair. Yeah, so a little bit of my background. I am what's called a cradle Catholic. I was born and raised Catholic. I'm still very much a practicing Catholic. But, Mike, like you, the more I go to church and the more I go to things at my girls' Catholic school, I still learn stuff.
Absolutely.
There's always so much to learn about these religions, especially these 2 religions, the younger of which is, roughly 2,025 years old. And the other one's
the older is
even
roughly
older.
57, 58, somewhere in the
100.
57 or 5800s. This is one of the reasons I think my children thought that I was Jewish, was that I was the only one who ever knew what year it was.
Oh, wow.
So when they were growing up, we'd be at some holiday and someone would be like, "Oh, what year is it?" And I'd be like, 5782. And they're like, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "I don't know, because I read it somewhere once," which is weird because I don't remember much of anything.
Wow, but that's the one thing you remember, and that's why people think that you're Jewish.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And now I'm looking up the year.
See, it's easier for us because you just say, "Oh, yeah, we're about 2,025 years old," because, it's the year.
It is 5786. So that was 4 years ago that I was saying 5782. Maybe I just picked that number and just remembered that because it just came out of my mouth like it was yesterday.
I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, anyway, so it was really neat for me to learn the story of Hanukkah. And again, as you said, there's not really a plot, but the story is basically, and this is retention test for me.
Perfect.
Because most of my notes, you know me, I'm a note taker. Most of my notes are, "Hey, this is a neat observation," or "On page 17, I got 46 candles, but it says 44 and I can't do math." Anyway, but looking at my notes and remembering, basically, the Jewish people have been persecuted by various leaders, societies, and empires pretty much forever.
For 5,786 years.
Roughly, exactly.
Roughly.
And, some of the ones that if you just ask anyone, they'd say, well, of course, the Egyptians with Pharaoh.
Yes.
More recently, of course, the Holocaust during World War II.
Obviously.
Even more recently, the attack of October 7th, 2 years ago.
Yes. Yep.
But this was yet another one, and one that I did not know about. And in the time, maybe it's like 200 or 300 BC or so, Jerusalem, Israel, was under Syrian rule. And the Syrians let them be for a while until a particular ruler, King Antiochus, I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's his name, of Syria, decided to persecute the Jews and not let them live and let live
religion.
And practice their religion. And many Jews surrendered to that because they feared death. It was easier. But there were many who said no. And one of them was Judah, who was named Maccabee, which means hammer.
Which is one of the things that I learned.
Oh,
I didn't know. So I thought that they were a group of, like, family, or a village, or some kind of group, but that had that name in their name. But it was not. That was Judah's sort of nickname.
Yeah, because he was the hammer.
The hammer.
Like if Judah today were a personal injury lawyer, he'd do advertising saying, "I'm the hammer," and
you would see billboards all along the highways.
Yes,
with
saying
him
the hammer
and a giant hammer.
Yes, and there actually is someone here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area who is the hammer, but his name is not Judah. So what happened was Judah and the Maccabees, the hammers, they decided, no, our faith is more important. We're going to fight for it. And they weren't fighters by nature, but
they were farmers.
They were farmers and shepherds and other non-fighting folks. They were lovers, not fighters. So what they ended up doing was they fought. And as they started defeating various Syrians, they took up their arms and fought more. And the temple had been left in ruin and forbidden by King Antiochus of Syria. And they eventually held out. And Hanukkah means rededication. They were able to rededicate the temple. And then the other thing that I learned was, according to legend, they had an oil jug with enough oil to last for one day. And a miracle happened. It lasted for all 8 days that they needed it. And that is the origin of the 8 candles and 8 days of the celebration of Hanukkah. How'd I do?
You did great.
Yeah.
And even with me stumbling through and like a drunk horse and knocking you over.
That's okay. And before I forget, I want to tell you a win of knowing this story. And not to tattle on you, we were supposed to record these episodes yesterday.
Yes, we were.
And we couldn't because you were so ill that your voice didn't work. And that tends to hinder our... Yes.
I sounded like this.
I've been sick like that too, and we're not doing movie trailers in a world where Mike is sick. So yesterday I was reading... No, it was either last night or this morning. I was reading the Wall Street Journal, and there was an article, an editorial called Holidays Begin at Home by Mark Oppenheimer. Our Passover and Hanukkah rituals have taught my family the joy of staying put. And it was this great short article about when Mark and his wife were raising their kids, they decided not to travel very much because it was too difficult. And that turned into a tradition of celebrating staying at home, which they did for all the Jewish holidays and even the American national. Hey, tell Mark that we're talking about him.
You were saying.
I was saying, no, that Mark and his family ended up having a family tradition of staying home for the holidays and appreciating the value of home. And he realized that was not only a value for their family, it is a very important value of the Jewish tradition. But he mentioned the 8 days because of the miracle of the oil of the Maccabees. And I was like, I know what that is. I know all about that. And I'm very happy because I literally read that last night or this morning. And had we recorded on time, I would not have had that wonderful reference before you recorded.
That's awesome.
So that was really cool. And I love Jewish traditions. There are 2 that come to mind for me personally. One is the reason why I know you is because of your wife. Mm-hmm. And she and I were in the Second City Training Center during the late 1900s. And we had a scene that we came up with called Judeo-Christian, where it was about the 2 of us were characters who were dating. I was Catholic, like I am. She was Jewish, like she is.
Like she is. It
was all the shenanigans of those different traditions and dating, and it was very funny. And literally like 2 years after our show, there was a guy from the Second City who ended up being hired as a writer on Saturday Night Live. And he saw me. He goes, "Hey, how are you? And how's Kim?" He goes, that scene you guys did about the Jewish and the Catholic thing, that was really good. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was one of my fond memories of, and it came, the genesis, see what I did there? Of that scene was Kim and I were just talking about certain Catholic rules. And she said, "Really? That's a rule?" It was about, things that Catholics can or cannot do before they're married.
Yeah.
And from that conversation came the idea of what it would be like if a Catholic and a Jewish girl were dating. And that's where that scene came from. And the other is around that same time, I was the assistant to the director for a show at the Second City. And our rehearsal process happened during Passover. And we had a Seder dinner as a cast and crew. And it was really cool. I learned a lot about Passover and the Seder dinner and all those Jewish traditions. So anyway, it was fun.
Which is very interesting because I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I did go to a Catholic junior high
Wow.
when I lived in California the first time.
I forgot about that, or didn't know.
Or maybe you did know. No, I mentioned it, I'm sure.
I forget stuff.
That's okay, so do I. But it was called St. James, and it was like, I think it was literally on PCH, Pacific Coast Highway.
Wow.
And in Redondo Beach, like, I don't know, half a mile from the pier. And I just saw on Facebook, I think, that they just tore the school down, which is sad. But,
what?
Yeah, they tore it down to build condos, I think.
I can see that value being more
and it
valuable as real estate and not a Catholic school. Okay, fair.
I remember when we would walk across the street and you could actually at one point see the ocean.
Oh, cool.
And like between all the buildings and trees and whatever. So it was very cool. But I brought that up to talk about Passover because they were celebrating.
Yes.
And that's why Easter is never at the same time.
Yes,
because it has to follow Passover.
Right. The Holy Thursday is the day before Jesus was crucified. And he and the 12 disciples were having a Passover dinner.
Yeah.
That's Passover.
And I believe Mel Brooks was the waiter.
He was, yes. He's a lot older than he looks. And I think he's still alive. So can we use the present?
I think he's like 99 or something.
No, I think he's probably about 57. What's the number?
57, 86.
Yeah, about.
Yeah.
But he looks pretty good.
Not looking bad for a millenatorium.
Millenatorium? Isn't that where they take the crazy people who are over 1,000 years old?
Maybe. I was thinking the what the hell is that word?
Oh, man.
Illustrator.
Yeah. Anyway, so.
Pardon my drunk horse while it falls through.
Hey, let's go back to
the story,
shall we?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to go back to, not the beginning, but to page 22, which was my first beginning of the book. I have a couple of notes that were pretty cool because they talk about miracles. One of the many things I like about this book is that it's meant to educate. And yes, it tells you all about Hanukkah, but it does a great job of telling you about other things. And miracles are very important to both the Jewish as well as Catholic faiths. And it describes miracles in a really cool way because it says that miracles are things that are something wonderful that we don't expect. And they also seem to defy the laws of nature. And I thought that was really cool. And it mentions some examples. It also asks for examples. So back to the origin of Hanukkah, the fact that the Maccabees, defeated the Syrian army, that in and of itself was miraculous. And of course, the oil, the one-day jug of oil lasting 8 days, that was miraculous. And another miracle is, of course, when we beat those commie bastards in Lake Placid in hockey in 1980. That was a miracle. So those are just good examples of miracles. Maybe that one wasn't in the book, the last one.
Maybe not.
I don't know. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Thank you, Al.
You believe in miracles? You sexy thing.
Hey! We crack ourselves up, Mike.
We sure do. I'm trying to find so miracles are cool. My favorite part are some of the traditions. My favorite tradition is latkes.
Oh, yeah.
The ever popular potato pancake, most perfectly made by my friend Dan George. He and his family have a latke party on somewhere around the beginning of December, usually. Unfortunately, this year we will miss it. We're very sad.
You'll be in London?
So we will be in London. But latkes are awesome, and there's this great debate over whether you should eat them with sour cream or applesauce.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get the argument. Just throw them both on.
I was going to say.
It's really amazing, as long as there's a little bit of pepper.
Well, see, I'm an and person, not an or person. Okay. So I'm with you.
Absolutely.
For breakfast, what do you want, sweet or savory? The answer is
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Always.
Absolutely. I will have my
and the pepper,
eggs with my pancakes with something spicy.
Well, and when the syrup hits the sausage or the eggs or the latke, I mean, that's a miracle.
Absolutely.
Because I do not expect it, and it's something wonderful that we don't expect. Well, I love that you brought that up because yesterday, I'm proud of myself. 2 days ago when I read the book, and
I am super proud of you.
Wait, there's more.
Wait? Okay.
Yep. I read it the day before, and I had notes, and I didn't rush. And here's where I'm proud of myself. You mentioned the latkes. There are recipes in the back in your copy, correct? Yeah, me too. The potato latke recipe and the donut recipe. And I was like, I'm going to make these, and I'm going to have them to eat on camera in front of David. There's a lot going on. Everyone's busy. It's concert season at both of our girls. Just slow down.
Slow down, David.
Yeah.
Slow down, David.
So, because I'm a big fan.
As Humphrey would say.
Yeah, he would. Exactly.
Oh, it's Slow Down David.
It's Slow Down David. It's a person that we are just discovering exists. No, but seriously.
Talks too much, Mike. Go on.
Yeah, because I've never been accused of talking too much.
Right. Or too fast.
No. What?
Huh?
Hey, I'm going to quote your beautiful bride, Kim.
Yes.
She is one of the few people that I know who talks faster than I do.
Yeah.
And many years ago, when I stupidly pointed this out, she said, oh, no, because I'm so smart that my mouth cannot keep up with my brain and it's trying. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's, I'm using that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No, but the point is, these recipes, I will make them because I'm also, in addition to being a believer of and not or, it's never too late. So I love recipes. I love food that's tied to family traditions and memories. Yes. For example, you and Kim and I lived near each other in LA for 6 years. So lots of great holidays, Thanksgivings and Christmases.
And Passovers.
Some at our apartment, some at your apartment, some at your condo. Wonderful memories. Way back when Kim and I were in a sketch comedy group together, we had a rehearsal / dinner / Christmas / holiday / Hanukkah party and cooked spaghetti. I love slashing. There was a lot of slashing going on.
Was Michael Myers there?
He was, but we'll save that for our next Halloween episode. Nice. Hey, it's Dad Joke Friday as we record this, but Dad Joke Monday as we drop this episode.
Let's drop it like a top it.
Yep. Hey, that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and wrap up so we can get to our next episode. But I just want to say I intend to make these recipes because I looked at those and thought, yum. And even though I'm reading this on Hoopla, is that the app?
Yes.
Yes. I read the book on Hoopla. Yep. One of the things I've told myself, whenever I read a book on Hoopla for this podcast or in general or any other electronic app, and yes, there was one book that we did where I literally found a video of a kid reading it and I took a screenshot of every page, but I now buy the books because I want to have the books and I want to support the authors. But let's go ahead and wrap up because I want to get to our next book and I'm going to go make some latkes and some donuts.
Awesome. And the donuts are called sufganot, I believe. I believe that's how you say it. That was something I did not know until we moved back to Chicago area and started hanging out at the temple.
There you go.
So now is the time for, do you have a dad joke?
Yikes. You know what? I did, and I marked it in the book, and I don't know where the book is.
Oh, well, if you would like to look for a second, I will.
I took you literally.
There you go.
I looked for a second because I'm like, where did I put the book? I'm like, I don't know, a bookshelf.
Right behind me, so I could reach over and grab.
Wait, don't knock those beautiful prints off the wall, Mike. What are you doing? For those of you just listening, Mike has beautiful prints off the wall. On the wall. Wait, You do yours first, because now I'm on the right page, but I thought I had one that was relevant to today. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So my dad joke for this week is, how do you throw a party in outer space?
How do you throw a party in outer space? I don't know.
Planet.
When you stumbled at the beginning of that, and I thought you said, how do you throw up? And I'm like, blah, that's how. But that's not what you were saying.
Absolutely not what I was saying that time.
Okay, so mine is, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. I wondered why the Frisbee was getting bigger. Then it hit me. It's Dad Joke Monday.
Dad Joke Monday. Dad Joke Monday brought to you by Dan Gutman.
Yes. Does he own the copyright? Does he get money every time we do a dad joke?
Every time we say it, it is dad. It's Dan joke. Dan. Dad. I don't know. We have to figure out how to say it, but it's Dad Joke Monday with Dan.
So I can even, if you're ever stumbling like I did, if you're stumbling on yours, I can say, Mike, just read the Dan joke.
Yes, but don't get so close to the mic, because then I hear.
What I said
it's like
was,
that sketch from Saturday Night Live when they're in the subway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was voiced by the same person who did the adults on all the Charlie Brown specials.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I think that we can totally wrap it.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap it, like a hap it.
Present.
I don't know.
A wrap.
And
Yo,
that's
I'm in
a
the
wrap.
here and now.
Oh, by the way. Oh, here.
Oh.
Did you notice my Hanukkah?
Oh, cool. I did not. But I see
I will
it there.
zoom in when we actually record this, because I think it's funny that it's like in my hand.
That's so cool. It's not working.
In the palm of my hand, almost.
It's
anyway.
Those of you just listening, there's a thing back there that Mike's talking about.
It's a Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
And it is not candle cropper, because I just threw candles into it.
Okay. That's how we do Advent wreaths in the Catholic faith. We just throw candles into it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. All right. Well,
hey,
signing off.
I'll see you at the next episode in about 5 minutes. Bye.
Bye. Happy reading.
Happy reading, everybody. Thanks for listening and watching.